All right, season 3, episode 15. We got like 9 episodes left in this season. Move on to the 4th. I'm really excited to get to the movie after season 5. That's what I'm really looking forward to. I think a lot of people are going to care about that. Like when we review that, you're going to have a lot of people who come in and are like, I love this movie, right? When it gets to the movie, people will care. But thank you to the like 80 of you that care about this. We always get like between 80 and 100 views on these. Very little in comparison to our other videos. And we don't care. We do it for you guys. We do it for us and for you few.
It's fun to talk about it.
We have a couple people who are like, they always comment on every episode and they're like excited for the next one. You guys are awesome. And
thank you so much.
We brought up one of your theories in a couple videos ago, which we really liked.
More theories, I really liked that idea.
Yeah, we'll bring them up on the channel for sure, because there ain't no one else that's fighting for that spot to be talked about. So you definitely can get mentioned in a future episode if you leave us some fun comments. We'll bring them up. So Piper Maru, this is the first time that we see the black oil in the eyes. I actually confirmed that because I went into the wiki of X-Files and it says first appearance was in Piper Maru. I thought we had seen it already, but I guess we were wrong
too.
I think we're getting it confused with the green smoke thing that but I thought they puncture it.
I thought it also showed in their eyes.
This is different, I guess. This is supposedly the first episode where the black oil or the black cancer is introduced. It says that on Wiki. If you guys remember something that we were... Now, I want to say the black oil is in the video game on PlayStation 1. So that takes place. I looked it up because I wanted to play it. I have a video on YouTube that has a full walkthrough. It's about 3 hours long, and you can just watch someone play it, which is, I think, I'm going to try to get the kids and you to watch like 30 minutes at a time and then review it. Maybe fast forward to the cutscenes. But that is like an episode of this show. Yeah. And I swear in that episode, in that show, in the video game episode, that the oil or it's the, I think you have I'm almost positive, I'm like 99.9% positive it's that what are those called, the puncture thing,
the syringes
that he sticks them in the back of the neck with to kill those aliens. I'm almost positive. You have to remember, I played this game 20 plus years ago. Almost 30. That's crazy. That's wild. Because I think the game came out in like 96.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So you're talking 28 years ago.
Wow.
So my memory of it, like I remember good parts of it. I remember a good amount. I played it a few times.
Yeah.
It was cool because it's like, we'll get to it. Sorry. This reminded me of the game a bit, and I wanted to bring it up. So who has played the PlayStation 1 X-Files game? There's a couple X-Files games, but this one has live footage, real footage. It's a point-and-click adventure game, and it has real footage of Mulder, Scully, Skinner, Smoking Man, all of them. They all make appearances throughout the game, and it's like a legit episode of the show. And it takes place during season 3. I looked it up. So I want to watch it soon. Anyway, would you put on this diving suit and jump into the ocean? No?
No.
If you went down, if you did, and you went down to this crashed freaking ship, this like what was it? Like a 1951 Mustang, I think is what she said. Whatever, the scene where Mulder's like, I'm so turned on right now.
Yeah, this is that scene that we were talking about from a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, this is what gets Mulder hot, is Scully's knowledge of like not World War II. That wouldn't be World War II. That's a little older.
Just
than World War
like
II,
aviation stuff.
Yeah, like warplanes.
It's because of her dad, of course, and she grew up on like an army base. But yeah, I don't remember what it is.
There's a human in there alive, and it's from the 50s. Yeah. This is 40 years later. It's been down there for 40 freaking years.
Dude.
And he's alive down there.
I would just have brought a gun with me in the suit so I could be like, just kill myself. Instead of deal with that.
And then everyone comes back but him with radiation burns. Man, that was nasty.
Yeah.
Radiation.
It's messed up.
Like radiation sickness and radiation burns like we see in Chernobyl is probably the scariest shit ever known to mankind.
Yeah, it's horrible. The fact that there's people that have gone through it and, obviously had to die from it and everything.
It like literally changes us on like a cellular level.
It's insane. It's insane. It's so monstrous. It's almost something that I feel is like unfathomable because
it's science fiction to me.
I was gonna say it's so unnatural. If you didn't have nuclear like technology or whatever, there's no way that you would ever die like that in the world, right? Like there's nowhere that you would go.
No.
In the natural world.
Space.
In space. Besides space. But on planet Earth.
On Earth. I don't
where
think
most people spend all their lives.
Not now, yes, because of Chernobyl and 3 Mile Island and any place with half-lives of nuclear. Yeah,
Now it's something that you could potentially, of course.
Oh, we're going to get knocked. I've had this happen before. We're going to get knocked how we pronounce nuclear.
Nuclear?
Where it's like nuclear. Nuclear?
What? It's nuclear.
Nuclear.
Nuclear?
Something like that. I've said it in a few videos and I get knocked every time for how I pronounce it. Nuclear is how I've always.
Nuclear?
But it's like nuclear. Like clear.
I can't hear the difference between how we're saying it.
I know. I don't know if I was saying it right always. Well, and then someone every time I say it, people are like, they make fun of me. That's how you say it? And I'm like, is that not how it's said? Nuclear. But it's like nuclear. Clear. It's hard. Clear. Anyway, done. Moving on.
Nuclear.
I don't know. Sit here like this and you're an asshole for so long.
Yeah, anyway, it's messed up though seeing their good practical effects though, seeing their bodies and everything. That's really sad. This also has a really sad scene in this episode where when Scully does go back to the army base that she grew up on to visit one of her dad's old friends to talk to him about this. Yeah, she has a little flashback of her and her sister playing hopscotch and that's really sad. So
yeah. And this guy that she knew while growing up, she's looking for his son and he's forgetful. And then meets her out in there, at the gate, and is being hush hush, and my son died, and it's they're both dealing with loss and memories that are kind of haunting them. Yeah, and it is sad.
Well, and he also not only is there memory stuff, but I think he does lie to her. He finds her to tell her the truth. I actually do know what that is because that was I was there kind of a thing. I was down there. Or sent to find the ship.
Yeah.
So, or was he sent to find the ship, or was he on the ship? Maybe I'm misremembering.
Wait, what? What are we saying?
The guy that she goes to see, that older man, he was on that boat and he left. He was the only one that survived. All the other ones died, right?
The guy that came back unscathed, he's the diver.
No.
The guy she goes to...
The older guy at the army base that she goes to see that was her father's friend. I'm pretty sure he was on the boat.
Well, she wants to talk to his son, though.
She does want to talk to his son. Well, she just wants to say hi to his son.
Yeah, but she goes there specifically because of this, and then she's like, I want to say hi to him. I'm
pretty sure that I'm right, that he was on the boat, and he's one of the only survivors of it.
You're probably right.
Anyway, but yeah, this is, it has some creepy scenes in this episode when the diver who's infected comes back and is acting all weird, and he goes to his home, and his wife shows up and is like, I didn't know you were coming, and he's not saying anything to her, he's just standing and staring at her. That's pretty freaky.
Yeah, it says Johnson admits that he had been sent to find a sunken bomber aboard the submarine Zeus and recalls how many aboard the sub suffered from radiation burns while he joined a mutiny against the commanding officer who had succumbed to the black oil. So
he was on board and then he mutinied.
I don't know if he was the only survivor, but he was
one of the only.
Yeah. So some died. I don't know if he's the only one who survived or not. But Scully once again. So like a couple. Okay, so another noteworthy thing here for sure is that they officially say they are closing Scully's sister's murder case.
Oh yes, yeah.
Which of course is like, what?
Yeah, and she's like, they're closing it because they're trying to hide like who killed her, obviously. And Skinner's like, he's very I think he just feels like his hands are tied. He's like, I'm going to keep looking into it. But she's just like, it doesn't matter. Like, they don't want you to know. You're not going to find out. Like, it doesn't matter how much you are, like, looking into it or whatever. So she's very bitter about it, as she should be. And I think this is another moment where Skinner is like, he's on Mulder and Scully's side, but he has limitations to what he can do. Which we see also later in this episode because he gets attacked and put in the hospital.
Scully, once again, as usual, is like super condescending towards Mulder and his beliefs. When it was like just 2 episodes ago that she was going off on about like religion and like how real she felt it was, and like kind of felt, I don't know, like Mulder wasn't believing her and how like lame that was, kind of thing. And it's like, Scully, shut the hell up. So it's funny how they go back and forth on each other on this kind of stuff. It's like, what? And also, so this is, we had talked about this in a previous episode, but this is the ultimate example of it. So typically Mulder is like for instance, one of the first memories I have of this in the show is when the Jersey Devil episode where Mulder drives her out. This is like the episode where she goes on the date with that guy, and Mulder drives out to New Jersey with Scully, and she's like, all right, we gotta get back before traffic. I got a date tonight. And he's like, okay, and he like just throws her the keys, and he's like, here, I'm gonna stick around for a while. And she's like, where are you going? And he says that, and then he runs off. This is so typical Mulder. Every fucking time something happens in this show, he's just like, okay, you go do this. And she's like, well, what are you gonna go do? And he's like, I'm gonna go do this. And it's like, were you gonna tell me? If I didn't ask, what was gonna happen here? Were you just gonna run off? This is another one of those, but to the nth degree. He tells Scully to do something, and she's like, well, what are you going to do? And he's like, I'm catching a flight to Hong Kong.
I know.
What? Mulder? What?
Yeah, it's so funny. He's just like, I'm flying to Hong Kong.
Yep.
And for this episode, like basically half the episode, he's in Hong Kong.
Yeah, he follows the secretary.
Yeah, well,
to see what's up so that he can confront her at a freaking like diner.
Because she's selling like government secrets.
Yeah.
And she sold like some information about how to get to this like sunken ship.
You think he could have stopped her before she left the country? Confronted her harder, like, I don't know, on the way to the airport?
He would have had more like jurisdiction if he stopped her in the
100%.
United States, but instead he goes to Hong Kong for it. But
guess
he
who he
ends
runs
up running into Krychek.
Oh shit!
I swear, I think he says something to Krychek in this episode. I feel like every time him and Krychek are alone together, they have like some weird moment where like Mulder says something like vaguely like innuendo or something, you know what I mean? Like, not innuendo, but like he makes some comment like whenever Krychek is like trying to like choke him like episodes ago or whatever with his dad. He's like, maybe it's not with his dad, but there's a point where Krychek's like attacking him, and he's like,
this is where when Scully shoots him. When Mulder's about to kill him.
I don't know if it's that scene or a different one when they're fighting, but Mulder says something like, he's like, do you use that hand to beat off too, or something like that? Like, he makes some like masturbation joke towards him.
Okay. He's like trying
and I wish I remembered what he says in this episode, but I swear I thought that he has some like, snarky comment
he's
towards
trying to like
Krychek.
emasculate him.
Yeah, it's kind of that, but it also like weirdly comes across as like like flirty
Flirtatious?
enemy stuff. I know it's not the intention, but I just like always notice it. I wish I could remember what the line was. So if anybody in the comments knows what I'm talking about, maybe I'm totally making that up.
All right, I'm gonna be looking for their like
next time
gay
that they
relationship
have
that
a interaction.
shipping.
Although now, because Krychek is infected by the black oil.
Yep.
So I don't know if it'll be the same. I think their relationship might change a little.
Yeah. Hey, Krychek, you want to shoot your black oil all over me?
And it sucks because Krychek is like, yeah, that could be it. You know, when Mulder catches him at the airport here, and he's like, he beats him up a little bit, and is like, I want to know, like,
beats him off a little bit.
Where that drive is. Yeah, he like. And he's like, it's back in a locker in DC or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, I didn't kill your dad. Like, that wasn't me. I didn't shoot him or whatever. You kind of are starting to get the sense that Krychek, like, because he's realized that the people that he was working for, like, are not going to protect him. Like, they don't care about him.
They try to blow him up.
And, yeah, exactly. And so he's afraid, and it's sort of like maybe he's trying to get, to switch sides a little bit, but before he can get a chance to be, like, actually proving that to Mulder, he gets infected.
Man, when people are infected, though, they become, like, little nuclear bombs. They, like, turn to radiation light, and anyone around them gets, like, burned by the radiation. Mm-hmm. That is a hell of a villain to deal with, because you are done for. There's nothing you can do once you have radiation sickness like that. It's over for you. You just die, and die very painfully and very quickly. Also, Skinner is shot.
Yes.
In this episode, so he joins the crew. Everyone's getting shot.
He gets shot for trying to look into Scully's sister, right?
Well, yeah, like he goes and tries to help this guy or help this girl at like a diner, and this guy's giving him shit, and Skinner's just trying to be like a good dude, and like walks up, but it's all a ploy to get Skinner, the hero, to like get up and expose himself, where he's like, hey man, like leave the chick alone. And the guy turns around and shoots him. So definitely playing on Skinner's hero mentality, right, where he's gonna get up and defend the defenseless. So once again, just Skinner being awesome and getting betrayed because of it. And so Mulder and Krychek are at the airport. Krychek gets taken over, and now he leaves the bathroom, and he's got the black oil in him. I thought that you go into the bathroom to expel the black oil.
I thought so too.
But no, he gains it.
He gets it.
And we move on to the next episode, which we have not watched yet. We're actually caught up. Finally. Yay! So tonight we will be watching the next episode with the Chillins.
Yep.
As they get here, and I'm looking forward to it. So we're all caught up. I look forward to the comments from the two of you, and definitely let us know all your thoughts.
Yeah.
And how we're pronouncing nuclear.
Nuclear.
I'm telling you, it's nuclear. And I say
but
nuclear.
But it is nuclear. I just say nuclear, which is faster.
Nuclear.
You're saying the same thing, nuclear.
No, I say nuclear.
Nuclear,
and it's nuclear.
Nuclear. I don't know.
Bye.